Hi, I'm Fiona Keary from Style Liberation and welcome to this week's top 5, which is puffer jackets. Now, I do love a puffer jacket. Living in Canberra, it is actually a requirement and I've got quite a few, and having a puffer jacket doesn't have to be boring. I think we often think of it as like a black or a navy or a khaki color, but there's lots of options to choose from, lots of different fills depending on your preferences, and lots of different styles to take into account too. So that's what we're going to explore today. And before we dive in, I just wanted to remind you that if you haven't downloaded your free retail guide 35 Plus Where to Shop, you can do that over at 35pluswheretoshop.com. And also, I'd love to invite you to join our Facebook group 35 Plus Where to Shop, where we have over 3,000 women in there helping each other find the perfect pieces for them. So let's dive in and take a look at some of my favorites. So first up, as I mentioned before, puffer jackets do not need to be boring. So first up, we have this gorgeous Gorman silver lining puffer, which was $349, now down to $279.20. So it's actually printed recycled polyester puffer jacket, and it's got a responsible down standard filling. And that might be something that you're interested in looking at, the down rating in terms of whether it is animal friendly. So that's something to take into account as well. In terms of style personality, and I'll just click through so that you can see, in terms of style personality, very creative, the print on this. You could probably get away with it if you're a little bit feminine creative or elegant creative as well. And in terms of color palette, I think it's perfect for someone who is cool and muted, or any of the soft color palettes, such as your warm, muted soft, or cool muted soft as well. Body shape, this is great for a rectangle body shape because you can see that the lines are quite straight here, and there's not a great deal of waist shaping. However, if you would prefer to wear this with something that is a skinny or a straight leg, then this will work for all body shapes because it mirrors that idea of that inverted triangle shape where you make the top half in your shoulder line appear wider than the hip line. So that will work really well. I love this as a casual to smart casual, and really for puffer jackets, that's what we're looking at there. Next up, we have this gorgeous ultralight down long coat from Uniqlo. And this also comes, it's in olive here, but it also comes in grey, black and navy. Now, I am a huge fan of a long puffer. I'm someone who feels the cold. So for me, this is like going out and wearing a doona. So I know a lot of people like wearing tracksuit pants, but for me, it really is the puffer. I'll even wear it in the house if it's a little bit cooler as well. Our heating sometimes isn't the best. So it was $199 down to $149.90. This actually is water repellent for light rain as well, and can actually fit folded up into a really small carry pouch. So great if you're traveling and need something, if you're doing different temperatures within Australia at the moment. It is an A-line cut, but I do feel like it's balanced out by the hood here, and it actually does have a detachable hood as well. In terms of style personality, I think this works for everyone, through from classic through to elegant. Color palette wise, obviously for the olive, this is great for your warm muted soft, and also warm muted deep. However, there are other colors like the grays and also the navies that will work for all color palettes. I do think this works for all body shapes, especially because the hood balances out the A-line cut. And again, for casual through to smart casual. So next one from the Iconic is this gorgeous Icebreaker Collingwood. It's a 3/4 length hooded jacket. And I'm really excited to share this one because if you're not someone who wants to have a down-filled puffer, then this is a fantastic alternative. And this is a wool blend fill rather than down. And I also really like this one because it's in Nightfall, which is almost like a beautiful petrol blue. It is also available in black, but I actually think the Nightfall is a really great neutral, I think, for all colour palettes. It does cross over really nicely. Colour palette wise, I think this works for all. Style personality wise, I think it works for all, probably not so much for the feminine. And it might not be out there enough for the dramatic, but you know, we all have a combination of style personalities. So I do feel like it weaves its way across all of those. Body shape wise, it is boxy, similar to what we saw with the Gorman cut. And also because you can see that it's got horizontal stitching in those lines, it creates width across that top half of the body. So I would highly recommend that you do wear it with more of your skinny or straight skirts or pants, for example, just to create that inverted triangle look. Whereas for the Uniqlo one, it really was a little bit more fitted through the waist. So again, really worked for all body shapes there. So this one is $499.99. Now, next up, we are getting into more of our serious puffers here. So the other ones, yes, they will work, but if you are looking for more adventure, these are the jackets for you. So from Kathmandu, we have the XT Pinnacle Women's Down Jacket in red grey. It's $489.99. It is actually water repellent down tech, and it is responsible down standard as well. Uniqlo doesn't actually mention that in their description, but for example, Gorman and I know Kathmandu do have the responsible down standard. Style personality wise, this is probably more for your relaxed naturals, your classics, possibly your rebelliouses as well. And colour palette wise, we are looking at warm clear to cool clear. And this one is particularly good for a triangle body shape. So remembering with a triangle body shape where our bust and shoulder line is proportionally smaller than our hip line, what we're always trying to do is to make the top half look the same size as the bottom half, or to make the top half look wider than the bottom half. And by adding this sort of red up the top, that creates width because the grey narrows and minimises that sort of waist torso area. So that creates width across the shoulder line there to create a beautiful either hourglass or inverted triangle shape as well. Dress code, this is really for sidelines and adventure wear. And it also comes in black and grey too. And then last but not least, we have from the North Face, the Women's Sierra Peak hoodie. So I wanted to show you this one. This is a slightly shorter jacket. Again, this one is a down jacket. It is a goose down. It's a responsible down standard. It is also water repellent as well. And like the Uniqlo one, it does fold down into a small bag and also has flash dry technology, which is brilliant. So because of the colour and the sheen to this one and the amount of horizontal stitching detail, I would say style personality wise, this is really great for anyone who's rebellious, dramatic, creative or sultry. And because of its fiery red, you are leaning a little bit more towards your warm clear. However, cool clears can also do this, and anyone in those colour streams. Body shape wise, again, because of the horizontal lines, it is creating width across the top half of the body, which is great if you are in particular a triangle, and it will work for the other body shapes as well, because if you wear it with something skinny down the bottom, it creates that inverted triangle shape. It has definitely more shape than your Gorman or your Collingwood 3/4, because you can see those seams just through the waist there. And so really great to create that shape through there. So they are just some of my favorites in terms of a puffer jacket. I love them. I feel like it's wearing your doona outside, and I think it's so important to be toasty and warm. Thanks for joining me this week. We'll see you next week.